this is really quick. I'm used to doing like 2 and 3 hour presentations, so 20 minutes is really challenging for me. But I want to give you guys as much as I can within this 20 minutes. But one thing that I want to do before I give you guys any tips or anything like that, and even introduce myself, is I want you guys to take a deep breath. Everybody take a deep breath. I say that because I walk around here and there's so much tension. Like people are just stressed out, and just, some people might even be frustrated. And I understand it and I get it. But I think sometimes the best thing for us to do is just state the obvious. And it's like everybody, I can't say everybody because I think that's unfair to say, but so many people feel the exact same way. And if we all had like a little bubble on top of our heads, most of us would have the exact same thing going on in our minds. But we think we're the only ones, and we're not. But I totally understand how things like this could be stressful because sometimes you don't want people to know, hey, I'm looking for a job, or somebody from my job currently that I'm working at might be here, and if they see me, I understand all of those things. And I can say that because I've been on that side before. And how many people had a plan that didn't work out how you planned it to? Anybody? Okay. And just being honest, some situations that we end up in, we never planned for it. We didn't think that some situations would happen how they happened. We had a thought in our head that, everything would work out great and, you'd have all of this money at, this age and things would be great, no stress, and that's not how it is. And so sometimes what happens, and maybe I'm the only one, but sometimes when we don't achieve what we expect to achieve, maybe by a certain age or a certain time frame, we start to beat ourselves up. And I can tell you this from experience. If you continue to beat yourself up and the world beats you up, you're going to be beaten in every direction that you turn. And the thing about life is that if everything, let's just be honest, if everything happened exactly how you wanted it to happen, you will live a very boring life. That would be very boring. Now, sometimes excitement comes at the expense of, your bank account don't have as many zeros as you want, or you don't have the job you want, or the boss that you have, you cannot stand them. But sometimes excitement comes in different formats. And how many people are either in a relationship or married in the room? Okay. So think about this. Whether it's, your spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend, think about if you knew every single thing that they were going to do every single day. Like they come home at 3 o'clock every day. They do this every single day. They say this every single day. Like that would be a very boring life to live with this person because you know every single thing that's going to happen. And here's the reality. Some people think they want sameness, but they don't. Because and this goes for even employers. And I'm going to talk about from a relationship perspective. When it comes to sameness creates intimacy. But our differences create excitement. And we want excitement and intimacy at work and at home. And the thing that I want to do today is I want to give you just a couple of little tactics and strategies to maximize 3 things that once they're gone, you can never get them back. That's time, opportunity, and first impressions. Those 3 things, once they're gone, you can never get them back. But I do want to take a step back and just kind of introduce myself briefly. Man, because I didn't even tell you guys my name. I apologize. See, this 20 minutes kind of got me out because I'm just kind of rushing and want to get into things. But my name is Chris Cannon. I live in San Antonio, Texas, originally from Detroit, Michigan. Best-selling author, national speaker, all of that kind of stuff. But I know you guys don't care about that. The thing that you care about is how can you help me get to where I want to be from where I am right now. And that's what I'm interested in as well. She's shaking her head like, yes. So I got you. But the one thing that I do want to tell you about my background, because this is how to stay motivated in the face of no. Because in life, sometimes we're going to get those no's. And all of us can attest to that by the sheer fact that we said, hey, I had an expectation that didn't go as planned. Somewhere along the way you had a no. And for me, I've faced many no's in my life. When I was younger, I was labeled dyslexic. I failed the 3rd grade almost twice. And I was expected to be a failure because my mother and my father was 14 and 15 when I was conceived. And so I heard no a lot. I heard no because other people expected me to fail. I heard no because I doubted myself because I listened to what somebody else said about how my future should be. And sometimes how other people perceive us has a great impact on how we see ourselves. But the reality is this: never let the way somebody else feel about you dictate how you feel about yourself, because their opinion of you never has to become your reality. Everybody say reality. Reality. And here is the reality. We have no clue of the energy that we give off when we meet an employer that we've never met before based on the things that are going on in our minds. And see, when people hear the word energy, sometimes people can think that it's like woo-woo and spaced out and this guy is new agey. No. How many people have ever been on a freeway and you've been driving, windows up? We live in Texas, it's hot, so your windows are up. And you look over at somebody in the car next to you. They can't hear you, they can't see you, anything, but they catch you looking at them. Anybody? Or maybe it was the other way around. You just feel somebody looking at you and you look over and catch them looking at you and they try to look away like they wasn't looking, but you saw them looking at you, so you know they were looking. That's energy. And we don't realize what kind of energy we give off before we even get to a destination. And so sometimes we don't get the job even before we got there because we don't think we should have that kind of job. They won't hire somebody like me. If they really knew who I was, they wouldn't hire somebody like me. And so sometimes we count ourselves out before we ever give ourselves a chance to win. And the thing is this: where did it happen? Because at some point, all of us thought we could do anything. But somewhere along the way, we lost it. Because think about this. If the mindset that we have right now, we had that same mindset when we was 2 or 3 or 4, even before that, before we start walking. Think about how many people would still be crawling around as 40, 50, and 60-year-old adults. That would be ridiculous. People walking around or crawling around HEB, asking somebody, hey, can you get the rice up there on that top shelf because I can't reach them on my knees. But somewhere along the line, we lost something. Because when we were younger, we were very confident. We failed, we got back up. We failed, we got back up. We failed, we got back up. And nobody ever told us that we couldn't walk. Never. But it wasn't until later where we started to get programmed to start thinking about limitations. At some point, we didn't have any. And when it comes to limitations, the only limitation really is the one that we set for ourselves. Because even if somebody else tells you no, it's not about what they say about you. It's about what you say to yourself when they stop talking. And the thing that I do want to say is when it comes to searching for employment, and especially if you're like me and you have a family at home, sometimes it could be an added pressure because it's not just about you, but it's other people. And if you are or at one point was the primary breadwinner of your home, sometimes it's even more pressure because you're thinking about not only providing, but how do they look at me? If you're a man, how do my wife look at me? See, they calling right now, want to know, hey, you bringing the money home yet? You get a job? What's up? But it's an added pressure. Everybody repeat after me. Say, always make your expectations greater than your temptations. So think about that for a minute. Always make your expectations greater than your temptations. Because you can survey a lot of people that came here to this expo, and you can ask them, do you really want a job? And everybody here would say yes, or else they wouldn't be here. But when you ask somebody, do you expect to get a job? That's a different conversation. Because there's some people that's here right now today that's utilizing the most valuable asset that we have, which is their time, and they don't expect to get a job. They don't expect for somebody to hire them. And that's a temptation. Because here's I want to tell you this real quick. There's 4 fears. There's the fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of success, and the fear of being wrong. Most people would rather be right than be happy. So when it comes to being right, even though they do want a job because this job will give them money, fatten their bank account, take care of their family, but there's some kind of comfort in being right. So they came here not expecting to get a job, because somewhere down the line they have this belief system that somebody like them, they're not enough. They're not good enough. My time dwindled. I don't know where it went, but I only have a few more minutes with you guys, and I was going to do an activity to really display to you the power of no. And the thing that I want to share with you guys, just in wrapping up, because it's so limited, is that when it comes to no, think of no as, number one, not right now, but there's something better. And think about it from the perspective of, it's not what they say about me or what they think about me, it's about what I think about myself. Because even in dating situations, because most of us raised our hand and said we're either married or in a relationship, most of us, we probably knew that this person was the one before they even opened up their mouths. And a lot of people that are not the ones that are not in our lives, we knew they weren't the one either. And sometimes we don't realize that battles are won and lost before they're ever fought. But I can say this. I can empathize with you, and I understand that at some point you just feel like, what's the purpose? Why should I even continue on? And you might feel defeated, deflated, and like people just don't understand you. But understand this. All of us have some degree of sameness. We because we're all here. And the thing that I want to say to you guys is this. Every single day, there's wars and there's battles. The difference between the two is that a war ends, but a battle is continuous. It never ends. And every single day, we have this battle going on in our minds that we have to fight. And I just want to remind you guys that every single person in this room, you brought something to this world that wasn't here before you came. And even if an employer does not hire you, think of it as they're not the ones to be worthy of this asset that I'm bringing to this company. Think about it from an empowering perspective, because you do have something that they need, and maybe they just don't see it for whatever reason, but it's not you, it's them. And maybe it's not a negative thing, it's a greater opportunity that's waiting for you somewhere else. Because if we're honest, some of us wanted something that we didn't get, and we're glad we didn't get it because we end up getting something better. Can anybody identify with that? So the last thing I want to leave you guys with is this, and I do understand that sometimes you want to quit, you want to give up. But the moment you feel like quitting and giving up is the moment you must take a flashlight to your soul and borrow determination from tomorrow to get you through today. But never quit, never give up. Because the battle is not lost unless you accept defeat. And understand this. And you guys have probably heard this before, but it's so true. Life is 10%, but it's 90% how you respond to it. And anytime you feel like giving up and quitting, and even if you can justify it, think about that one person. If not for yourself, think about that one person that's depending on you. Because if you quit, you give them the permission to do the exact same thing. Do it for them. And understand this and believe this, that you are an asset, regardless to you getting a job or somebody saying yes or no or not. Because your value doesn't depend on anybody else. And I'll tell you this, whether you go into any job interview or whatever it is, nobody can take value away instantly. Nobody. Even when we talk about currency in this country, if they change the currency right now, so what? Somebody might have a kid at home who has a baby doll or a teddy bear. And somebody can offer that kid $10,000 for that teddy bear. And even though they don't know the value of money, they wouldn't sell it. Even though you told them, hey, you can get 1,000 more teddy bears, they wouldn't sell it. Why? Because that teddy bear has value, and there's nothing that can ever happen to take that value away. That's something that all of you guys have. And always remember, never let anybody demean you and never demean yourself, because the value that you possess is there whether you acknowledge it, believe it or not. So why not empower yourself and stand with you instead of against you? I really wish I had more time, but I do want to respect. Thank you. Appreciate it. Could I get a volunteer just really quick? Can you come up real fast? Okay. Because I have like limited time. And here's the thing. I told you in my life, I've experienced no a lot. And so what I did is I discovered a way of empowering myself with no. What's your name?
Chanel.
Chanel? Okay. Chanel and Chris. So here's the thing. Chanel is going to coach me. And there's a game called Choice on Command. And so Chanel is going to coach me. And listen, the only thing that you're going to do is just say yes or no.
Okay.
All right? And so the thing is this. We're going to start with, just the phrase, a question. You can ask me, how was my day? Or, matter of fact, we'll start with that. How was my day? And the only thing that she's going to do is just tell me yes or no. And if you say yes, then I have to continue on with the same pattern. But if you say no, I got to do something different. Okay? But it's just yes or no. But here's the thing. When you tell me yes, you got to say it from a place of compassion and encouragement. And when you tell me no, also say it from a place of compassion and encouragement. Okay? You nervous? You
Sure,
good? You good?
Maybe.
Okay, it's all good. They're all on your side. We're all on your side. Okay? So just ask me, how was my day? And then you just keep saying yes or no. But here's the thing. You can't say too many yeses in a row and too many no's in a row, because that'd jam me up and I'd just be all messed up.
Okay.
All right? So.
How was your day?
Great. I woke up this morning at yes. We'll keep on. So I woke up this morning at 7.
Am I saying that?
No, you're
okay.
just telling me yes or no. You're just telling me yes or no. Okay, and I woke up and I made my kids breakfast.
No.
I made my wife breakfast.
No.
I made my neighbor breakfast.
No.
I made my dog breakfast, and then I made myself breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay, and when I made myself breakfast, my daughter came in and my dog came in on the table. Okay, my snake came in on the table and my sock just magically appeared and it came on the table. Okay, a banana came on the table and then it fell. Okay, I didn't make breakfast at all, and then I got up and then I said I don't even want to eat anymore.
No.
Okay, so I want to eat everything in the refrigerator and didn't even cook it.
Yes.
Okay, so I ate everything in the refrigerator, didn't cook it, then I got sick, and then my wife had to take me to the hospital.
No.
Okay, she took me outside and let me sit in the porch.
No.
Okay, she made me sit in the car because we didn't go to the hospital because we didn't have any money to pay for the ER.
No.
She made me go to the ER and sit outside because we didn't have any money, and then my grandmother came and picked me up.
No.
Okay, my daughter's friend's son came and one of her friends saw me and they took me to Costco.
No.
Okay, they took me to Austin.
No.
Okay, so they took me and sit me in a car. They didn't take me anywhere at all. They just left me there.
Wait, am I supposed to say if this really happened?
That's because we don't have a lot of time. Look, I made it simple for you. Your job was just to say yes or no.
Okay.
So I was probably confusing you with all of this different.
Yeah.
But when you say yes, I had to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. Because we don't have a lot of time, here's the reality. And you guys are probably thinking, like, what is the purpose of this? And it was kind of rushed, so it didn't happen as it was supposed to. But here's the reality. There's going to be, just like me, you're going to experience a lot of no's in your life. But give no and experience no with grace, with encouragement, with empowerment. And understand that when somebody tells you no, just like she was telling me, you might be all over the place just searching for something, but understand that they're only telling you no because they know you have something better. See, she kept telling me no because she's like, oh, I know you got something better than that. And it wasn't like, you dummy, who does that? She didn't say it like that. It was only because she know I have something better. And so understand this, whenever you get no, it's only because it's something better out there for you, not because it's anything about you personally. Because sometimes we hear things and we experience things and we take it personal. And it's not about us. Thank you so much. It's not about us at all. Man, it's so much more I want to say to you guys, but listen, I thank you for your time. I really believe in my heart that all of you guys have something valuable, special that you brought to this earth, and I pray and I hope that you do not forget that in the face of adversity or so-called rejection, because rejection is not even real, because the only person that can reject us is us. Nobody else can do it without our permission. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.